We now know that Rigathi Gachagua has had a number of problems, including some people texting him at night. Why don't we respect offices? Rigathi Gachagua is the deputy president. You may not like the person, but the occupant of that office is the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya. So doing anything that disaggregates that particular office is making it look dirty, and you're making us as a country look not so organized. How can somebody as senior as Moses Wetangula make a pronouncement, whether in a church function or in a funeral, that almost depicts that he does not have a mind of his own? He's just waiting for William Ruto to tell him what to do.
So glad to have you on Richard Mwenja Exclusive. It is a new month, October. It is here with us. We really thank you for always tuning in to these conversations. And not just this particular show, but also my other show, that is Business Glide, that touches mostly on economic affairs. Welcome to Richard Mwenja Exclusive. Today we continue unpacking conversations shaping Kenya's political and governance landscape. And who better to help me bring such conversations home than this renowned think tank, public scholar, former minister, Honorable Ruto Arap Kirua.
Yeah,
how are you doing today?
Very well.
You're well?
Very well, completely.
Completely?
Yes.
You're not surprised or sort of down because of the backlash that came after you exposed how people are using their offices for private grid? Most were supporting you, netizens online, but there also a section who are saying that you are accusing the president falsely over the auctioning of processional way some time back.
Okay.
It is the biggest talk right now on X and on other social media handles. Please clarify further. Was it true? Did it happen?
Yeah, in fact, the best way to confirm is to look at the end. When he surrendered the titles that had been acquired fraudulently on processional road, the road between State House and the Serena Hotel. That should be the hallmark of all that. So he surrendered, and that clip must have been one of the media houses, surrendering to the Minister of Lands, having known that a new regime was in town, a regime that was a no-nonsense regime, and that road was to be done, and the road today is tarmacked. At times when you have a problem around State House, you can use processional road if you are going to Serena. Secondly, I realized, in fact, I got a lot of information after that. People confirming to me, yes, you are right. He had grabbed a processional way.
Our president?
Our president.
Then?
He was not a president
then. No, then he was a minister or MP?
No, he was not yet even an MP. I think he was one of the wheeler dealers around Jirongo.
But could there try auction processional way?
Yes. What he was doing, some guy had come to town, some fella. I call him some fella because he's not worth being given the decency of being mentioned on this channel. He came to town, started a bank, and he got a number of guys to be investors. And as a way of siphoning money from that bank, he got some titles, fake or otherwise, and one of the titles that he got is the one that was presented to him by a young William Ruto, our current president. And that bank subsequently was closed because it could not meet the requirements, because the depositors realized their money had been siphoned out of the bank.
It was a shadowy bank?
It was a bank that existed, but one of the directors used the titles from various young Kenyans and so forth to take money out of the bank. So for every amount that you take out, you leave him something. That's what happened. And those who are accusing me, I would rather they take me to a court of law.
That you are mudslinging the president?
No, I have no reason to mudslide him. But what we need to do is to realize that somebody, when he behaves this way in high school, is likely to maintain the same character, even to his late 50s or 70s or 80s. So about land, he likes land that does not belong to him.
But we've seen other people in the past whom were thieves, meet the Damascus moment, they saw the light, and nowadays they're custodians of public resources.
Well, I wish I could know some of those people, then understand what is the transformation that visited them. Otherwise, I have not heard the president saying that I will stop looking for land other than my own.
The other day he was just gracing the ceremony of getting back public resources that had been stolen. That was EACC there. He was there taking back all those properties, literally walking the talk on the fight against corruption.
Well, that's convenient for him, and it's good because he's the president. He has to do that. Yeah, somebody else, when he becomes president, EACC may go for what he has already gotten without necessary the due process, including the Western Hotel. Yeah. Why didn't he receive the title for Western Hotel? Because it used to belong to Kenya Airports Authority. The one now he wants to sell to Adani.
Might have been an innocent buyer.
Innocent buyer, honest buyer, innocent buyer. But they say lack of knowledge does not make you less of a criminal. You're handling stolen goods.
Mwizi ni mwizi?
Mwizi ni mwizi, jina yake ingine hatujui.
Hana majina mawili?
Ni moja tu.
That of the way, to the main conversation for the day, we are still unpacking the looming impeachment the side of Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. And this far, we are seeing different sections, some supporting the impeachment motion, some not supporting the impeachment motion. But I want to understand this. It seems that two communities have now been pitted against each other, the Kalenjin community and now the Gikuyu community from Mount Kenya, or Gema by large. Don't you see that maybe you are brewing vendetta between these two communities?
Well, I think, let me make it clear, and I'm not making it clear on behalf of the Kalenjins, but there are a number of forums that belong to the Kalenjin, are occupied by the Kalenjin nation, and they do a lot of communication, and also get communication from home, from various individuals and opinion shapers. It's very clear this thing is not as popular among the ordinary Kalenjins as they are trying to depict.
Hold on, you mean there's a section within the Kalenjin community that doesn't support the impeachment of Gachagua?
They don't support because they are looking at the stability of this country. They are not looking at Gachagua per se. They are looking at the stability of this country, that when shall we stop bad manners where the deputy president is almost harassed throughout his entire period. They are very fresh, it is very fresh in their mind that William Ruto did not sit pretty, especially the second term of President Uhuru Kenyatta. And President William Ruto made that commitment in Kasarani. What has made him almost abandon his deputy is something that we are worried about. I'm not talking on their behalf, but many of them I know are not for this. Not because of anything else. One, if there is any misdeeds done by the deputy president, nobody has been able to demonstrate that to us. Two, why should we unravel the partnership that has been going on very well between the two communities that were earlier on not sitting together? Number three, nobody can exonerate the president. If Rigathi Gachagua is accused of any imagined or real crimes or misdeeds, it is shared by the two at the top. Because this is their own regime, this is their government. So there is no way you can say the deputy president has been doing 1, 2, 3 without the knowledge of the president or without the approval of the president, tacit or otherwise. Yeah.
So in the fullness of time, for MPs like Oscar Sudi who are supporting Rigathi's impeachment, could at some point the community step back and say, you're not going to be our leader anymore because for us, we want to see a united front nationwide?
I don't want to make that conclusion, but I know he's going to lose some bonga points. It is not going to be as the game as usual. Yeah, because this is a game that does not belong to the community. We are not, what is in it for the community? What is our interest? You know, all these accusations, he was supporting GNCs, he was doing that, he was doing that. Some of them even cannot be proven because the impeachment process, especially for the level of the deputy president or the president, is slightly more complicated than the impeachment of a governor.
Really?
Yes.
You know just about the numbers?
The numbers, yes, you might get in the National Assembly, 233 or thereabout, National Assembly. When you go to the Senate, you will need to get 2/3 of the 47 elected senators from different parts of the country. And that will also require the deputy president to be called in to answer some of the allegations leveled against him. And in the process, those senators are also going to make use of their mind to see whether they meet the threshold for impeachment of the deputy president. Because it's impeached under section, I don't know whether it's 145, you can confirm.
True.
Or which section. Because there is a section that could have been straightforward. If he has a mental case, he has a physical infirmity that he cannot run the office of the deputy president, or any of the higher crimes. But these are just petty offenses, including almost misdemeanor. When you say he does not respect the boss, those are things which are subjective. They are not really objective, and they cannot be measured on a serious scale. That how much respect, how do you measure respect for the president? If it is tribalism, one is talking tribal, another one is practicing tribalism. So who is guilty of the crime? Number three, it is also good to understand that not all senators are likely to vote for against Rigathi Gachagua. There are some senators, either from the opposition or from the Kenya Kwanza, who may not go by the whipping of the ruling coalition.
Do you foresee a situation whereby some will abscond the material day, the voting on the material day?
Yes. Some may abscond and some may vote against that particular impeachment motion. And how will it be now that impeachment has not gone through and the president was supporting it? How will it be? How will they stay? You will bring another Nini Kawira? And about if he goes to court and is able to forestall any form of impeachment? So it's going to be a technical deputy president by law.
And does that now inform why the president is maintaining pin drop silence on Rigathi Gachagua's impeachment?
Well,
so that he plays the neutral card whether he gets impeached or not.
But it will not be neutral anymore, because Rigathi has come out very clear with the truths that we are now happy. We now know that Rigathi Gachagua has had a number of problems, including some people texting him at night. Why don't we respect offices? Rigathi Gachagua is the deputy president. You may not like the person, but the occupant of that office is the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya. So doing anything that disaggregates that particular office is making it look dirty, and you're making us as a country look not so organized.
Part of the grounds for his impeachment from those who want him impeached is that he is among those who financed the Gen Z protests, more particularly that happened on the 25th of June, the year of our Lord 2024. I mean...
So who is going to impeach Ford Foundation? Because the president has said Ford Foundation. Who is going to impeach Uhuru Kenyatta? You are starting with Gachagua. Then Uhuru Kenyatta. Ford Foundation has already been acquitted by President Ruto because he visited them when he was in New York.
Maybe from the side of the president is that he believes the rat that chews the boat from the inside must be the first one to drown. That's why he's starting with Rigathi Gachagua.
But then you've made peace with the Ford Foundation. And Ford Foundation is known to have also financed Rachel or her projects, not Rachel as the person, Rachel's projects. So now, who are we going to believe? Is it Rigathi or the president, who has almost mentioned the three people? And none of them, and two of them are now seem to be acquitted. You are focusing on one that you can harass.
So there's more to this impeachment than meets the eye.
Once you finish with Gachagua, you will impeach the next person and another person and another person. How about the abductions that we are doing daily? But what proof do you have that Gachagua supported the GNCs to protest? In Kericho? Was he in Kericho? Was he in Eldoret, where the president comes from?
Or Lodwar, perhaps?
Was he in Lodwar? Was he in Trans Nzoia? Was he in Bungoma? Was he in Marsabit? Was he in Meru?
That he was deploying his allies and part of his staff.
Then he must be so powerful. If he was able to organize GNCs in 35 counties, then he should be the president. Yeah.
This far, we have seen...
Without the knowledge of the president? 35 counties out of 47. There were demonstrations in 35 counties. Mombasa, all the way to Trans Nzoia.
Another ground for his impeachment is that he's not able to keep government secrets by saying NIS failed on their mandate to advise the president accordingly, that he cannot keep secrets of the government and there's no need to have such person in the room. What do you make of that?
Then it is not the purview of parliament. It's for the president to tell Rigathi Gachagua, I don't trust you anymore. And I'm sure if we told him that, Rigathi will take the next bus to Nyeri. Please, we've been in government. Government secrets are not things that you talk outside there. And when you are saying that, there must have been some frustration that he knew emanated from that particular office. So you cannot make some of these things convenient to make somebody look so bad. Yeah. I've told you I've never supported Rigathi, but I'm supporting him on this principle, that impeaching him is a crime against our democratic principles.
Is it also part of political bad manners that you normally talk of every
Yeah, and lack of political hygiene. That's lack of political hygiene.
Not even from a president who's
You are
gone
eating
before
without washing your hands.
Not even from a president who's gone before United Nations General Assembly saying he's applauding democracy in Kenya and trying to put a framework that supports the aforementioned.
Does he believe in that when he's abducting people? When he's arresting people at will and making other people look so bad? He does not believe in those things. President Ruto is very good in lying.
But he says when a Kenyan is held at a police station, that is not abduction. We are just trying to create a mountain where there is none.
But which police station, like Kubaso?
Morara Kebaso is now under custody, but
Where?
they say that is not abduction.
Where is he? Which police station? Which police station? It's good to know. And you see, why arrest him? Why don't you just give him notice that you are required in this police station over 1, 2, 3?
And they'll avail themselves.
You'll avail themselves with their lawyers. That's how good manners is supposed to be practiced in this country.
Utaki watu wabebwe na Subaru?
Subaru gani? Hata kama ni pickup ni sawa, lakini hiyo unabebwa kimla. Yeah.
It makes sense. This far we've seen how speakers, more particularly the main ones, that is Moses Wetangula and the Deputy Gladys Bos-Shelley, pronounce themselves and their stand on this impeachment issue. They say that Rigathi Gachagua is trying to sabotage the president. When House speakers talk in such a manner, so once the motion is tabled before them, don't you think that the scales of justice will have already been compromised?
In fact, if I had the number of MPs, is Speaker Moses Wetangula and Deputy Speaker Shelley should be impeached.
Really?
Yes, because you see they are overshooting the runway. Their role is to accept information from members of parliament, whether it's a censure or impeachment, and make a decision on the basis of the decision of members of parliament. Pronounce the verdict on the basis of the majority of members of parliament.
Not to make the verdict themselves?
No, they are not supposed to do that. It's really, in fact, I wish Gachagua would have gone to court to inject that particular process, because already the judge has declared you the winner or the loser before even the game begins. So any game is just a confirming because it's already fait accompli. So I hope he has good lawyers. They should have gone to court on the basis of that. You cannot go to a referee who says your team has lost by 3-0. So why are you going to play?
Before halftime?
Before even, not even halftime. We've not even entered the field. You are still in the dressing room. Then he says your team has lost 3-0. So why are you going to play?
A rogue shepherd, that one?
A terrible man. And woman.
But it is not the first time that we're seeing Speaker Moses Wetangula or even Gladys Bos-Shelley, his deputy, pronounce themselves on issues of national interest. Over the finance bill of 2024, they had actually taken a stance even before the final ruling. This is also another issue coming up that they're doing the same. Don't you think that it will come to a point whereby they'll go down the history of this country as the most biased and partisan speakers to have ever existed in the history of Kenya's democracy?
Well, I don't know how historians will write, but what they have proven to us ordinarily, because both of them are lawyers, fortunately or unfortunately, but they have now proven to us that they are not worth the salt. And they don't deserve the dignity of the chairs they sit on. Because how can somebody as senior as Moses Wetangula make a pronouncement whether in a church function or in a funeral, that almost depicts that he does not have a mind of his own. He's just waiting for William Ruto to tell him what to do. How can we still trust that he's going to be an umpire that will do things blindfolded, already has an eye for negative things about other people? Bosholei is a senior person in the judiciary,
Registrar.
having risen to the level of registrar. But then now, she has the temerity of making certain statements which do not behove her character. Perhaps you can forgive her because possibly she's trying to impress the constituents of Wasingishu to give her another election term. Otherwise, the truth of the matter, she is not worth the seat she is sitting on.
So this, why would you say that they have been a part of the fire in the belly of those who want to emasculate the democracy of the parliament of today?
Yeah.
And also the role of the parliament.
They are part and parcel of that, and they have, now justice has been miscarried for Rigathi. Gachagua now is a condemned person before he even reaches parliament. How do you condemn me before even you hear my part of the story?
There you have it. That point takes us to the wrap of today's conversation, still discussing subjects that are shaping today's political landscape here in Kenya and also the governance arena. Time now for this insightful segment, that is Heroes Corner with Honorable Kipruto Arap Kirua.
Yeah.
Mashujaa Day is around the corner, and also today you want to understand Shujaa wetu ni nani?
Shujaa wetu ni jamaa alikuwa anaitwa Ivan Nas when he was young.
Come again?
Ivan Nas. The Nas that you know, Ivan, I-V-A-N. Nas. He changed his name later on, having gone to Harvard and many other schools of higher learning, to George Padmore. George Padmore was born in 1903 in Trinidad, Tobago. Having some mixed blood, of course, with black extraction. He went to various places, and his base at some stage was in London, where he met so many intellectuals from Africa, like Du Bois, or Dubois, they call it Dubois in French. Then he met Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, he met Kwame Nkrumah, people like the Emperor Haile Selassie, to pose a case for African liberation. And he did a lot of work, both in terms of intellectual discourse and also liberation for Africa, pitching a number of things. And remember, this is after the Second World War. The liberation in Africa would not have been complete without George Padmore playing a role. Unfortunately, we lost him at a very young age in 1959.
Oh.
That is a hero that I consider an African Pan-Africanist. When you hear of the word Pan-Africanism, is part of the architects of that word Pan-Africanism. Yeah, George Padmore.
Is the president of the day, our President William Ruto, also trying to be that continental figure that we can say believes in Pan-Africanism?
Well, he has said a number of things which I feel they are very good, including the need for us to have a common currency as a continent. But he says it, but I don't know whether he believes in it. Yeah, because William, unless he himself is the one going to mint or to print that money, called the Afro, he may actually end up being the printer. Otherwise, I don't believe he can do anything out of his heart. It is out of his interest that he will do that.
Good Samaritans exist in this world. Why do you think that's a far-fetched goal for him, to ascend into one?
Well, I don't know. He might change. And I want him to surprise me. I would love it.
You'd embrace it? You won't be in denial when he does so?
You know, when he does it, I will say, okay, he has proven me wrong. I have told you, he was able to bring two communities that they fought for 5 years. And they came together, and that was a feat. And he was able to convince you against the wish of Uhuru Kenyatta, the Mount Kenya bloc. That's another feat. He has failed to unite Kenya. That is my worry.
But he seems to be winning the fight against corruption, taking back, repossessing all stolen public resources.
All stolen, all. You know, you use the word all stolen. Some stolen, because you could have given back Western Hotel title deed.
EACC is watching you, by the way.
But they know it. EACC knows better. If the plot where I live in Karen or in Kitale does not belong to me, let them come for it. EACC, they are supposed to be a service organization. Yeah, if they are serving Kenyans, it's okay. If the car I'm driving is not mine, they can take it back and give it to William.
You are ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
Yeah.
We shall be there to cover it as media.
That will be nice.
All right.
And I'll look for alternative vehicle, possibly your car.
I don't own one yet. I don't have a foundation behind all I do here, by the way.
Okay.
Let's set that straight.
Oh.
All right.
Let me be your foundation.
Much welcomed. Until when we meet, we have this conversation again. Do enjoy the rest of your viewing. Mheshimiwa, asante sana for making time for this production.
My pleasure.
What we do here is more of civic education and just doing the Lord's work for the nation.
Yeah, me too. I'm trying to do that. I have no foundation and I have no capacity to set up one. But I'm happy that I'm seeing young Kenyans doing the right work. Yeah.
All right, there you have it. Engage me on X and on TikTok at Mwenje Richard. Let's meet there and talk.